Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin, and I have a problem. The first step is admitting you have a problem. I've admitted it. Do I care to fix the problem? No. I bought more plants. I went to my big nursery. My big day was 4 days ago. 4 days ago. And I bought more plants. I have a problem. Don't come at me. I know I have a problem. Paying any of my bills makes me sick, makes me want to throw up. But when it comes to buying plants, I'm like, here, take my money. It's a problem. If I'm ever living under a bridge, we know why. This is why. But I bought new plants. So we're going to ignore the problem and we're going to focus on the plants that I bought. So when I went to my nursery day, the one thing I went for that they didn't have was my peppers. So I always start all of my vegetables, all my other peppers started. I actually need to check and see if I want to pick up a couple of other bells. I don't know how many bells I have. I think I only have 2 bells. So I might need to go back and buy bells because I just thought of that right now. But everything else grew. My jalapenos grew, my banana peppers grew, my paprikas grew, everything else grew. My favorite, absolute favorite pepper, my orange yummies, did not grow. So orange yummies are a snacking pepper. You find, most people know what they are. They're found in like the deli section. They're just small little peppers. They're my favorite pepper by far, and not a single one of my seeds germinated this year. So I need to buy new seed this year. I didn't have bad germination on anything else, I don't think. I started some things late. I started my brassicas all late, but everything else I think pretty much grew for me. So I knew I needed to go buy my peppers. So I bought 8 of my orange yummies. I've never grown 8 of these before. Typically, I grow probably no less than 5, but I love to freeze these. So I cut them in half and I freeze them whole. Peppers freeze great, but even small peppers you can freeze completely whole. And I love to pull them out in wintertime and put a piece of pepper jack cheese, some olive oil, and some pretzel salt and roast them until they're nice and crispy. The skin is starting to get brown and bubbly. The cheese is melty. Chef's kiss, so good. It is honestly on my top 5 list of food if I'm ever dying and I have a last meal. These peppers are on it. So I have a huge bag of these peppers from last year, and typically they roll over, right? I make a whole big push to preserve. That way, in case I have a year like this where maybe the peppers didn't germinate and I couldn't find them, like I couldn't find them at my last nursery, and I would have trekked all over the eastern seaboard to find these pepper plants. But I have a whole big bag that I keep in my freezer and I can roll over. Well, my freezer accidentally got turned off in the middle of winter. We got like a warm spell, and the stuff right on the freezer door started to fall. And the peppers were on the freezer door and they thawed completely. Peppers take like 5 minutes to thaw. And these puppies defrosted completely. I refroze them. I'm not worried about it. I'm still eating them, but they are 1000% not as good as they would have been if they hadn't thawed. So the peppers that I have, I'm eating them still, and I'm gonna continue to eat them until these are coming in fresh. And once I'm able to start harvesting fresh peppers, whatever I have left, I'll just toss into like a tomato soup or a casserole. I'll toss it into something else. So it'll 100% get used, but not for its main purpose. And then one thing I'm getting better at, this is my second year fully attempting it, is my garden is what I call a pantry garden. So I don't eat fresh out of it a lot. It is honestly pretty rare. So things like my broccoli's coming in, my green beans, my tomatoes, that first priority for those vegetables is for preservation. It is for to go in the pantry to feed me all winter. Last year was the first year that I said, you know what, try to eat fresh too. Now, this isn't to say that I don't eat fresh, but not that often. And so, like these peppers that are such a priority for me in the freezer, I pick them and they go in the freezer. And it's not incredibly common for me to come pick peppers and eat them fresh. So last year I made a big push to eat more fresh things, and I did. This year we're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm realizing that, so like for instance, I have 18 broccolis in the garden. 18 broccolis is typically my rule for that's how many broccolis I put back in the freezer. However, I'm also realizing that at the end of the year, I have broccoli left over. So that can allow me to eat more broccoli as it's coming in fresh rather than just throw it in the freezer. So I really need to like work on that balance. I never, of course, want to run out of food. Food security is very important to me. So I never like want to run out of broccoli. But if I run out of broccoli, it's not going to be like I'm not going to run out of broccoli in December, right? And then have to go the whole way until June to harvest broccoli. Like, that's not going to happen. But even if it would, this is for me now. You can go 6 months without broccoli. It'll be okay. So if you're new to my channel, one of the ways that I homestead is I eat what I grow. So I take a big chunk of the garden and I turn it into my frozen goods, my canned items. I cook from scratch. So I really do use my garden to help feed me. And it has significantly dropped my grocery bill quite a lot. I don't go grocery shopping that often, and even if I do, it's to pick up like sour cream or milk or laundry detergent. So growing my own food has significantly helped me cut down on my bills. So while these things don't help me with my groceries, these things do. So even though these are the cheapest things of the day, we are ignoring them and we're taking them out of the final budget cut because they feed me. And I would have had to buy it at the grocery store anyway. Okay, it's fine. So I went to buy the peppers and then I needed straw. I need to start laying more straw in my garden path because the weeds are starting to win that battle. So I'm buying straw. And the straw went up. Straw is more expensive, so it's going to take me a little bit longer to lay my paths. But so while I went there, I also knew I wanted to fill out my green stalk. So I have my green stalks out on the front porch. We'll walk out and we'll take a look at that then. I have lettuces in there. I have a couple of cucumbers, which I don't know are actually growing. I need to check on them. And then I have nasturtiums. So what I really wanted for my green stalk this year is I really wanted to put it on my front porch where it doesn't get any of the afternoon heat. It stays largely pretty cool on the front porch. And I'm hoping that I can grow lettuce all winter or all summer. I have lettuce sitting here right now that I grew that I haven't touched. I need to eat it, but my desire for salads goes up and down. And right now I'm not in the mood for a salad. I don't know why when I have salad right there. So I am going to put salad on my list at some point for this weekend to eat what I have. But I really want to be able to have like a fresh salad in like the middle of July. Who doesn't want that? But salad greens don't grow in the heat. So I am continually trying to find ways to grow salad in the summer. So I put it on the front porch. We'll see how that goes. It has sprouts. It's 100% not getting enough sun. So that's concerning. I'm thinking I should next time start them inside, like start plants inside. And then once they're little plants, then plant them out. So we'll make a note of that. We might do that later. We might just wait till next year. I don't really know. But I have a couple of cells that are empty. I have a pack of these begonias left over from my nursery trip this weekend. I love these. I think they're gorgeous. I don't know where to put them. Begonias don't like full sun, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm pretty sure they don't like full sun. Plant in sun or part sun. No, well, in my experience, I don't think begonias do great with full sun. So I thought I could use these begonias and put in some of those cells, but then I also thought I could get a couple more herbs and put a couple more herbs in that. And then maybe when winter comes, I could bring the green stalk in, maybe still have lettuce going and herbs going. I don't know, we'll see. But I got some herbs. So the first thing, I wanted some more time. They're completely out of time, but I got this summer Savoy. No, I keep saying it wrong. It's summer savory. And this is resembles thyme and has the flavor of sage and rosemary. So I got this. It smells decent. But I'm excited to try this in my cooking. But I thought that would be really pretty in one of the cells. And then this also has medicinal uses. I'm pretty sure, I forget now, I'm pretty sure this is a good digestive aid if you have like an upset stomach. And then I'm also thinking that, or I also think it said that like if you have like a bug bite, you can like chew this up and put it on your bug bite. Or your cuts and your bruises. So I got that. And then I got another rosemary. This rosemary is a very sad looking rosemary, but all the rosemaries were so sad. So I'm like, I'll throw another rosemary in there. I think that'll be pretty. This morning I was watching Jess at Roots and Refuge. She is putting in a new tea garden. And so she was talking about the plants that she puts in her tea garden, and that might have inspired me a little bit. I have space in my green stalk, and I found some plants, and I was like, okay, let's do it. So I love to make my own tea. Typically, I just use mint leaves, and I make a nice mint tea. I don't typically sugar it with anything, just mint, hot mint, or mint and hot water, and call it a day. But she really inspired me. She made a delicious drink. I haven't had it. It sounds delicious. Mint and lemon balm, and then you add honey. So I bought a lemon balm plant last weekend. I knew I wanted to buy lemon balm before, but I thought, oh my god, never thought to try that. We'll try that. Great. Lemon balm also has great medicinal properties, which is why I initially wanted it. So I 100% want to try that. But then she was talking today about the different basils that she uses in her teas. And I got inspired. So the first one that I know she talked about was a cinnamon basil. And it smells a little bit like, it's not as pungent as normal basil. It's definitely basil. And I definitely get like a little bit of a cinnamony smell, but not a ton. But she says when you steep it, it really comes out more. So I got the cinnamon basil. I thought that might be at least good to try. But then I thought like in wintertime or like in fall time, cinnamon basil might be delicious in fall drinks. I'm thinking like some whiskey drinks with some cinnamon basil and it might be just the bee's knees. Just what the gardener ordered. So I got that. And then this one, I don't think she mentioned. This one's fun. I'm excited for this one. This is a lime basil, and it smells like lime. Just sucked that up my nose. This is a lime basil, and I'm so excited for this. How good is a lime basil? It's gonna be margaritas and mojitos, water. It's gonna be fantastic. So I'm really excited for that one. So these are all going to go in the green stalk. That's what I got. Well, not the peppers, but the basils and herbs are all going to go in the green stalk. And then I have some begonias, and I think that's it. I think that's all that's going to go in the green stalk, and that'll help fill out whatever emptiness that I have. And then the other vegetables that I got, which I don't actually like, so we'll see how this goes. So I don't like some of the main summer things to grow. Watermelon, all melons, I hate, and cucumber. I think cucumber is the worst thing that ever walked the face of the earth. However, when I have sushi, I make sushi bowls or have a sushi bowl, I always have like shrimp tempura. It has to have cucumber in it. If it doesn't have cucumber, it's not the same thing. So I don't like these things, but these are so prevalent in summertime. And as a gardener, how can I not like a cucumber or a melon? So I bought melons. So I did plant a cucumber seed. I'm hoping that grows. And I just typically buy that if I want to make my own fresh Shizen, or grow that in case I want to make my own fresh Shizinski, or I want to have a shrimp bowl, sushi bowl. But I decided to buy some melons. And I'm going to try to make myself like these things this summer. I feel like if I just eat it enough, I can trick myself into thinking that I like it. Because what is better like than eating like a fresh watermelon on a July day or a fresh cantaloupe? Like, come on. It's pivotal summer, and my stupid body doesn't like it. So, we are going to make ourselves like it. I got a sangria watermelon. I like sangria, so I feel like, how could I not? And then an ambrosia cantaloupe. I don't like ambrosia, but we're going to try it. So I got these two things today, and that is the equivalent of the herbs and vegetables. And then I got these. So after I got done planting some of the stuff I bought on Saturday, I also had a lot of my own annuals. So I grew a lot of my own annuals. I grew a ton of petunias, more than enough petunias for what I needed. And I grew a ton of geraniums. This was a great geranium year. So, and I grew a ton of eucalyptus. So after I planted the stuff I got Saturday, I also planted a lot more of my petunias and my geraniums and my eucalyptus. And I put geraniums everywhere. I probably had 20, 25 geraniums. And so I got them all in the pots, and I really like where I have them. I feel like a lot of my pots are filled out. I feel pretty good. And then yesterday I realized, oh my gosh, Caitlin, you need 2 hanging flower pots, and you are out of plants. I have petunias left. I have petunias in a lot of places, so I didn't necessarily want to do my 2 hanging pots also as petunias. I also have geraniums in a lot of different places, but I went for the geraniums. So I also wanted to get stuff to make some hanging baskets, and this is where it got a little expensive. But we're ignoring that. So down at my flower farm, I just put in like a new fence and a little shepherd's hook, and I'm really excited to have a really pretty hanging pot there. So I decided, and this year I'm kind of into like the red, white, and blue. Um, be very festive and USAE. How I got into that is I found, and I'm going to show you on my next video, I'm doing a garden tour, hopefully tonight. I got some impatiens that were white and red. And so I'm really excited for them to grow together and just be like this red and white pot over summer for like July and August for July 4th and Labor Day. So I really want to like stick with that. Like, go be festive, Caitlin. So I saw these red petunias. So I saw these red petunias and they just spoke to me. There was a ton of other petunias. Purple is my favorite color. There were purple petunias. I don't know why these spoke to me today, but they did. So I grabbed these and I'm like, okay, let's do a white geranium. And then which one did I do? Oh, I did this one. And then I needed like some greenery. So I did a vine. I think this one is the vinca vine. Yeah, the vinca vine. So this one is going to go in the bottom of my yard. And I think, and because it gets full sun, geraniums like full sun, I think this one will be really, really good. And then I need one up here by the house. So I decided to kind of do the same thing. I walked past this pink geranium and thought, you're pretty. So I got that with a white petunia. And then a beautiful, I've never seen this before, green and white vine. So we are going to get the green stalk planted with our herbs. We're going to get these flower pots planted and then go about our day. The peppers are not going in the ground today. So peppers don't like to be cold. If you put a pepper below 50 degrees, it'll stunt. So as my rule, I try not to let my peppers even get to in the 50s. Sometimes that's not doable. I remember 2 summers ago, it was Memorial Day, and the nights were still getting down to like 58, 57, 55 degrees. And I was like, okay, you just got to do it. You just got to put them in the ground and they'll be fine. What will happen is the plants will just stunt. They just won't have enough. They just won't grow that big, produce that much. So I try really hard to not let my plants not let my peppers, that is, get cold. Everything else is fine. Sweet potatoes are another one. I do have sweet potatoes sitting here. They cannot get below 40. So they're not in the ground yet either. We should be fine this week. It's Mother's Day. So I think our cold nights are done. However, I'm just kind of holding out for probably another week. I think next weekend is my plan to put those plants in the ground. So those will get set outside. They'll get hardened off. The plants I've been buying from this nursery this year, I'm not really feeling like they've been hardened off, which has been unfortunate. So I'm just going to stick them outside and harden them off myself. Let me bring you down and I'll show you what I'm doing. So every year I make my own hanging baskets, and I realized that these baskets these baskets were $16 a piece to make. Soy. These baskets were $16 a piece to make. Go in there. At this point, you would honestly buy, these baskets for probably $25, $27, and they're much bigger and prettier. And then the $16 to make doesn't include the dirt or the pot. So I always say, like, just buy it yourself, or buy the hanging basket yourself, and then you don't have to worry about making it, and you don't save that much money. And then I never do. I just take inspiration from what I see there and then make my own. Okay. Okay, one done, and I actually think that turned out really cute. Let's pull this one over here. Let's go over here to this one. Look how pretty. I think that is actually gonna look really, really pretty. This one's gonna go up by the house. I think that's gonna look really nice. And now let's do the same thing. Take out some of the dirt that I just put in for my geranium. And then my Inca. Oops. And this one is the one that is going to go down in the garden. So I'd be able to see. Oh, wait, no, I reversed this. How did I reverse this? No, yeah, wait, this one is the one that's going to go down at the bottom, and that one's going to go up at the house. I'm like, did I do these wrong? Do I have to redo them? But we didn't. We did it right. Okay, good. Okay. That one is all done. And so I'm really excited. As these grow, you can kind of like train them to go out different ways. So I'm excited to see these grow. Over there. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna hang those up in a second, but let's go out front and plant our herbs. So we just have a couple of herbs. So here is my beanstalk. And so I have a couple of things growing. And so I've just been rotating it. I need to get the manual or the spinner. But rotating hasn't been that bad. Okay, so I'm gonna put the lime basil in. I'm keeping the tag so I remember what these things are. And this lime basil has a lot of basils. A lot of basil plants. I don't know if I should separate them. Typically I would. I think let's for now we'll just put it in and see what happens. I should separate them. But I don't think it's going to get that much sun here. That's going to make it a big issue. So we'll just put that in like that. And put the little tag so I don't forget. Next is cinnamon basil. And this is two big plants. So I am going to split these two off. Because these two are already big. And I'll put one. Let's turn. I'll put one over here. And I'll put one far away. Let's put one down here. I don't like that sound. Okay. There is my cinnamon basil down there. And then the next thing I have, do a little bit of turny turn, is my rosemary. Let's put this down here. I'm going to try to get different heights and colors throughout this whole thing. Okay. Turn it in. And let's do down here. Let's do my summer savory. Okay. So that is done. So this will be exciting as things grow. I have some nasturtiums here. Some nasturtiums down below. So I have a couple of empty cells still. I don't really know why, but so some things are starting to grow. So we'll just keep waiting and see what else grows. Then we'll put begonias. I have impatiens. We can put some of these impatiens that are sitting right here. Let's put these in. Add some color right now. Why not, right? Why not? Oops. As I'm breaking off my petunia leaves. Not the easiest thing to plant. I'm just going to kind of push them in there. So there's one. Maybe we put this one over here. So I'm really excited about all the things I have grown in here. I'm really think it's going to be really pretty, and it's going to have both herbs and flowers and vegetables, lettuce. I'm excited about it. So just stay tuned and see how well this turns out as we keep growing all summer. Thank you guys for joining me. I still need to do the begonias in this one yet, but we're going to wait for a different day because Sawyer is working for me and Sawyer wants me to come back to her. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, friends.